Mariah gets her new WWE name. Who really brought R-Truth back to WWE? And John Cena makes awkward shoot references to CM Punk accusing wrestlers of selling out when working in Saudi Arabia in the build to his Saudi Arabia match against CM Punk. I'm Ollie Davis. And this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Stephanie Vaquer, sorry I mispronounced that actually, I mean Stephanie Vaquer, was officially called up to the main WWE roster last Monday, bringing with her the craze that's been sweeping NXT over the last 6 months, going every time she hits her Devil's Kiss move, which is her driving her opponent's head into the mat with her legs. The move and noise getting so over is thanks to the commentary of Booker T in NXT. This is because Booker T is more of a non-verbal announcer, commentating on matches with noises instead of actual words. And considering that, Booker T has said on his podcast he thinks Stephanie should rename the Devil's Kiss with something a little more appropriate. She should call it the Booker T. She should just rename it. Call it the Booker T and take it all the way to the bank. That's my thing. Anything to put some shine on these guys, I'm gonna do it. Yes, thank you Booker T for helping Stephanie Vaquer get more over by letting her name a move after you. Speaking of veterans crossing the boundary of what's real and what's a work, much love brother HH Kiss, John Cena kind of just told CM Punk to come suck a blood money covered with him in Saudi Arabia. Just 2 days after Money in the Bank, which might have been a more appropriate PLE for their match, considering their most famous encounter coming at Money in the Bank 2011, Punk challenged Cena to pick one of his 18 remaining dates to face him. Cena, with a knowing glint in his eye, said let's make it Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. It's an incredibly weird and bold bit of creative. CM Punk infamously tweeted The Miz back in 2020 to go suck a blood money covered in Saudi Arabia, you dork, and has avoided being booked on shows since his WWE return in 2023. He was written off TV following his Drew McIntyre Hell in a Cell match last year, missing November's Crown Jewel, and he was pulled from the Night of Champions commercials post-WrestleMania. Given that, and Punk's own tweet, the informed speculation is that he sees working in Saudi Arabia as a morally complex issue, given the governing regime's track record on human rights abuses, something that he is pretty vocal on with other causes. So Cena challenging Punk to a match in Saudi Arabia is saying to those who know, Punk doesn't want to work in that country, so me, the heel, is making him go to this morally objectionable place. The weird thing is, WWE themselves would never outright say that, as Saudi Arabia is such a controversial and high-paying partner. But that hasn't stopped Cena posting on his also very weird Instagram a photo of The Miz versus Samoa Joe without an explaining caption. So let me explain it for you. The Miz versus Samoa Joe took place at the Greatest Royal Rumble 2018 event, which happened in Saudi Arabia. I.e., it's the exact blood money match Punk accused The Miz of having, posted the day after a blood money Cena versus Punk match there was announced on Raw. Last month it was reported that WWE gives their wrestlers the option whether to work in Saudi Arabia or not. In the past, for instance, Kevin Owens refused to work shows there when his best friend Sami Zayn was reportedly banned from appearing due to his Syrian heritage. But even though they have the choice, wrestlers are apparently pressured hard to work in the country. The Wrestling Observer Radio has now elaborated on Punk's backstage situation, reporting he could not go if he really wanted to not go. I don't know if he ever voiced any issue with going at any point since he signed, but he has not in months, I know. So he's going. He is big enough he could have said no, and it wouldn't have impacted him. Apparently, this has been the plan for months, which is why he was in the original Night of Champions promo, first aired back in April. Perhaps WWE saw the reaction to Punk in that first commercial, so they removed him from it and worked it best they could into the storyline creative, just like how they saw the fan reaction to them legitimately cutting R-Truth to then bring him back and working it into a storyline. It's all part of the show! But who was really behind bringing R-Truth back? Fightful have reported that Truth was so disappointed with how he was released, being told over the phone that his contract wouldn't be renewed after 17 years with the company, that he wasn't taking any of WWE's phone calls. But it wasn't Paul Levesque who eventually reached out. It was WWE President Nick Khan, who then agreed a deal with Truth to come back under his real name, Ron Killings. Khan does not usually get involved in wrestler contract negotiations, but apparently saw Truth's release as a priority given the fan backlash. Following his promo on Raw, where he revealed himself as Ron Killings, Truth has now posted a tweet specifically thanking Khan. How equals you. Y'all brought me back. They heard, listened, felt, and understood. Thank you, Triple H, WWE, and man, thank you, Nick Khan, for allowing our truth to set me free. I'm driving now. I am Ron Killings. I am the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name. In his Raw promo, Truth also cut off his hair, symbolically leaving his R-Truth character behind and becoming the more serious Ron Killings. A seriousness slightly undermined in his social media clip by the animated smiling heart constantly popping up over his head when he was showing it off. Mainstream music acts wanting to do better versions of Def Rebel themes has become a thing over recent weeks. Limp Bizkit said they're up for doing a Bron Breakstuff song, and now Metro Boomin has offered to make a new theme for Ron Killings. Potentially seeing this last WWE run as a way to build his music career, which is always what he wanted to do even before becoming a wrestler, Killings has politely declined, replying to Mr. Boomin with, "I appreciate you, my dog. Huge fan. What's up ain't broken. I want to keep it. Fans and people know it as soon as it hits. Check out my music under Ron Killings. Our truth ain't driving now. I am." But Ron's isn't the only high-profile wrestling name change this week, because the NXT debut of She's Here from last week's episode unveiled her new gimmick on last night's episode. Here's my review of NXT in about 5 minutes. Proving the parking lot is still the most dangerous place in all of wrestling, Obafemi got jumped by his main event opponent Jasper Troy in the opening "Here's people walking into the building" shots. Troy chokeslammed Femi onto the hood of the car, smashing its windscreen, giving the champion a nice bit of vulnerability to exploit at the end of the show. The opening match saw Ethan Page retain his North American title against Evolve's Shawn Legacy. Ricky Saints attacked Ethan after the match, suggesting that imminent main roster call-up for Saints is more like September. The Culling beat Josh Briggs and Inamura. Inamura should get a big singles push as soon as possible. I've loved him since his speed match against Ivar back in March. Then we got the official video package unveiling of Mariah May's NXT gimmick, after her first appearance in the promotion last week, following the now standard AEW to NXT jump format of they appear in the crowd and cleverly never mention their own name. The video here was a fun, if unfocused, pastiche of 50s TV, I think, or commercials, or the Hollywood star system. One of the strengths of Toni Storm's gimmick in AEW is how fully realised her character is, which is apparently down to a lot of topic knowledge from her and RJ City. Mariah's immediate NXT presentation felt more derivative, like the newspaper shots only having the headlines without the Easter egg or attention to detail actual articles to accompany them. Mariah was shown having a bath, putting on makeup, and then taking off her towel to reveal her black outfit underneath, and her new name, Blake Monroe, which is reportedly a reference to her niece Blake and the film star Marilyn Monroe. We'll all get used to it by next week, but I think I would have preferred Mariah Monroe, like how Ricky Starks became Ricky Saints. Although good luck trying to fit Mariah Monroe into a chant. Lash Legend beat Ren Sinclair following an argument backstage. JC Jane had her first title defense against Lainey Reed, who slapped her twice backstage. Even though Jane retained, it felt as much as an elevation of Reed as an establishment of Jane as champion. Afterwards, Ava, that bastion of charisma, revealed yet another tournament will start to decide Jane's challenger at Evolution 2. Charlie Dempsey is trying to stop his no-quarter catch crew from slowly disintegrating, dodging a match from Tavion Heights. Mr. Iguana was in the front row. It's Mr. Iguana! He's got an iguana! High Rise beat a not on the same page Tony D'Angelo and Luca Crucifino. Stax tried to interfere, but Tony stopped him and turned round into Luca holding a weapon in a compromising position, which led to High Rise getting the pin. A six-man tag was set up for next week of Trick Williams and TNA's First Class versus Josh Briggs, Inamura, and TNA's Elijah. And the main event was an excellent hoss fight of Obafemi defending his world title against LFG winner Jasper Troy. Take note, Jey Uso, Oba sold his injuries during his entrance, perfectly getting over the story of the match before it even began, and making you believe that they could be doing a shock title change to create a star in Troy right out the gate. They had 12 minutes of very impressive huge moves, like the second turnbuckle buckling when Troy whipped Femi into it, Femi throwing Troy outside through the barricade. It was only let down by the botched false finish, which you can put down to inexperience, where Troy didn't kick out of the first fall from grace, but the referee called it anyway. Femi hit a second to win. Now click the video on screen to watch Luke and I review this week's huge episode of Raw on the WrestleTalk podcast. And if you like watching us, please consider supporting us on patreon.com/WrestleTalk, which helps fund all the videos we make.